All I have to do is leave Iran, and we'll be doing that very soon, and they'll become tumbling down.
The White House has announced that U.S. President Donald Trump will deliver a national address on Wednesday night. The speech is expected to focus on the ongoing U.S.-Israel war against Iran, which has now entered its second month and continues to escalate. All eyes are now on the White House for clarity on the next phase of the conflict. President Trump has indicated that the United States could end its military campaign against Iran very soon, suggesting a revised timeline of approximately 2 to 3 weeks. This marks a shift from the earlier projection of 4 to 5 weeks, which has now been extended. Notably, Trump emphasized that Washington does not necessarily require a formal agreement with Iran to end the war. According to him, the operation will conclude once Iran's military and nuclear capabilities are severely weakened, effectively setting the country back for the foreseeable future. In his words, the U.S. would withdraw once it is confident that Iran cannot develop nuclear weapons for a long time, regardless of whether a deal is reached. However, he added that a deal remains possible, noting that Iran may be more eager for an agreement than the United States. Meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio echoed a similar sentiment, stating that while the end of the war is not immediate, it is approaching soon. Speaking to Fox News, Rubio suggested that no country is currently providing Iran with support strong enough to hinder U.S. operations. On the other side, Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian stated that Iran has the will to end the conflict, but is seeking firm guarantees that hostilities will not resume in the future. Earlier demands for reparations appear to have been dropped, with the focus now solely on long-term assurances. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu reaffirmed that Israel will continue its military campaign. He previously noted that only about half of Israel's objectives have been achieved, and stressed that the focus remains on completing those goals rather than adhering to a strict timeline. In a recent address, Netanyahu also claimed that Israel has strengthened its alliance with the United States and established new partnerships with key regional players to counter what he described as the Iranian threat, though he did not specify which countries. On the ground, the situation remains volatile. Fresh explosions have been reported in Tehran, where air defense systems have been activated, particularly in northern areas of the capital. Across the Gulf, the conflict is spreading. Kuwait has reported that Iranian drones targeted its airport, hitting fuel storage tanks and causing a massive fire. In Manama, authorities confirmed a fire at a commercial facility, attributing it to Iranian aggression. In Doha, a British maritime security agency reported that a tanker was struck by an unidentified projectile about 31 kilometers off the coast. Fortunately, no environmental damage has been reported so far. The conflict has also expanded to Lebanon, where Hezbollah has launched attacks against Israel. In response, Israeli strikes have hit Beirut's southern suburbs, with multiple explosions reported and smoke rising over the city. The Israeli military claims it has targeted senior Hezbollah commanders. As the war intensifies across multiple fronts, from Iran to the Gulf and Lebanon, the situation continues to escalate despite talks of a potential end. The U.S. has already deployed ground troops in the region and sent a third aircraft carrier, while groups like the Houthis are also becoming involved. Although Washington suggests the conflict could conclude within 2 to 3 weeks, the scale of military activity indicates that tensions are still rising. For now, the world watches and waits as the next phase of this war unfolds.